Hello. Howdy. Oh, I forgot to move my mic closer. Alright, here we are. Face rig. Recognize my face. Please. There we go. Welcome back. I managed to keep my schedule for once. And today we're playing more Kentucky Route Zero. Got through Act 2 anti-intermission last time. And I'm excited to see where we're going. I think this is where the acts start getting a little longer. So maybe today's stream won't be that short. But whichever way we go. So radio announcer. 83 and sunny now. Looks like it's gonna get up to about 101 by late afternoon in Louisville and 103 in E-Town. Not a cloud in sight, so get out those parasols. Haha. So last time we went and asked for directions at some sort of office along the Zero, and we tried finding a doctor to fix our broken leg, or twist his leg. Major accident just ahead of the Bardstown exit, so if you're headed to work on 31, you are late, my friend. Ha ha. Sugar? Just a little. Forgot how you take your coffee. I'm tired. Didn't sleep well. Heard you yelling. Bad dreams? We were up on a roof, Ira and I, and Charlie, eating a light supper. I was drinking sweet tea. Charlie was reading. We were surrounded by other houses, closely packed, huge sidewalks. Must have been a... what's the word? Subdivision? That's it, I'm sure. Below us, a group of people were gathered, standing quietly. A man was reading from a book. I asked Ira about the weather. Would it rain on Tuesday, or when would the sun set? Something like that. He wouldn't answer me. Charlie stood up, and Ira told him to watch his step, and then I remembered. I woke up before I could stop him. Charlie was alone on that roof. I guess he was. He was so bright. His teacher said, what was the word? Imaginative. That's it. How could I forget? It wasn't his fault. It wasn't anyone's fault, Conway. That's what we mean when we say it's... an accident. Sure. Well, we have a mail order delivery today. Might be a long drive. Hope the truck can hold up. Long drive? What makes you think so? They said he couldn't come in person. Maybe just a shut-in. I don't recognize the address. Order is all. Sure we can fill it. Guess that'll be the last. Guess it will be. Last act of Lizette's Antiques. The... what's the word? Finale. Maybe. No, that's not the word. Just need to think a bit. More coffee or something. Or I've had too much. It'll come to you. Maybe. I'm not sure anymore. It seems inevitable there will start to be words that I lose forever. What are those boxes you set in the hallway? Charlie's old books. Oh. Thought we could look at them together. That sounds nice. Cora should be here soon. Will you wait with me? Sure, Liz. I'll wait with you. There's traffic and weather on the fives. That's every 10 minutes. Brought to you by the Consolidated Power Company. Stick around for Old Kentucky Home with Kate, helping you turn your humble home into a mansion after this. It's very much so far the theme of just everything falling apart around you. That's not what a leg should look like. But that's only if you make a late payment on a follow-up visit. I think everything went well enough here that they'll only want to bill for... Oh, he's awake. How you feel, old man? All fixed up? Truman says you might be a bit misty coming out of it, so... What time is it? It's been about 2 hours. What have you been doing? We watched TV for a while. Then Dr. Truman showed me some of the terms of this bill. It's kind of... You'll want to look over it yourself, I think. How about that leg? How's your leg feeling? Yeah, that's the important part. Conway shifts his leg a bit in the chair, testing it. Well? I really don't want to talk about the little boy having an accident. This isn't my leg. Not your... Of course it's your leg. It looks wrong. You replaced it. I haven't encountered this reaction before, but it's not totally unheard of. I read a paper about something like this last year. It can happen for a lot of reasons. Neurological, psychological, social. I'm sure it won't persist in your case. Your thoughts and feelings are probably still a little nebulous from the neuropinol TN. That's totally normal. It'll pass. I would recommend driving at least for another hour. I wouldn't recommend driving at least for another hour or two, regardless. Stares remotely at his leg. Let's talk about a few things you should be aware of. Recovery, rehabilitation, and side effects. How long am I going to be recovering? Well, at your age, I want to be clear. You should expect lingering effects of the injury for more or less the rest of your life. Don't immerse it fully in water. Avoid extremes of temperature. I'd stay away from dusty roads and mountain lines as much as possible. Mountain lines? Good advice in any context. Best thing you can do is keep it clean and free of debris. What do I clean it with? Or how often do I clean it? Say about once a month. If you find yourself unable to avoid overly dusty or moist environments, you'll want to clean it more often. Of course, have a doctor examine and recalibrate it every 12 months or so. So do you have any questions? Anything about the bill that didn't make sense? I don't mean to rush you, but I have an early fishing trip. Tell about the payment plan in the bill. Yeah, that's one of the atypical clauses. I don't really have any control over the bill. Now that the Consolidated Power Company bought my employer, they handle everything. So it all runs through your electricity bill now. You can pay it back in full on your next billing cycle, or you can get on an emergency credit payment plan. You'll have to call Consolidated for more detail about that. I don't really understand how it works. Something about generating electricity to send you back into the grid. One more thing. Don't be alarmed if you don't experience any side effects of the neuropinol TN. Typically, we see daydreaming, deja vu, pensiveness, fugue states, regular perception of time. About 15% of patients report a generalized sense of lateness. Nothing to be alarmed about. Just keep it in mind. Thanks for your help. Julian's outside. We can head back to your truck. Alright, let's head back. Museum of Dwellings. That's a very weird museum. How are the drugs treating you? I don't like to take medicine. Nah, it's good for you. He's a doctor, right? I know what you mean, though. My folks had a peculiar relationship with medicine. We almost never had a regular doctor, or health insurance, or anything like that. Our immigration stuff was a mess for most of my childhood, so we only qualified for state programs in small patches before something or other would get contested. And we learned to just pile on dentist appointments and stuff in those short windows. If the cut got infected or her migraines were too much to handle, Mom would talk to so and so who knew so and so, usually another minor, and end up with some pills. Instead of medical advice, every pill came with gossipy anecdotal warnings and superstitions. All this lore that came with it. Like magic. Dangerous, mysterious. Ever run into any problems? Sure, yeah. Stuff would be expired or mislabeled. Mom was allergic to penicillin, as it turns out. That was scary. And one time, in high school, we either got these pills to help her focus. She was so smart, but always going off in different directions, mind racing, like 5 conversations going on in her head at once. And you're lucky if even one of them is with someone in the room. So she had these pills, and they seemed to help. I was struggling in school too, failing my history class. She offered to share the pills. Did it help? At first, yeah, it helped a lot. I had a kind presence and clarity of purpose that I never really had otherwise. I didn't want to stop taking them. One day I was sitting on my bed. My notebook was open next to me on top of the textbook, and I was holding a pen in my hand. I remember this moment from several years before. It came up so suddenly, with such precision. Couldn't put it out of my mind. I felt I had to stay with it until I'd recalled the whole thing perfectly. It was just a tiny nothing moment. My mom patching up the side of a birdcage, winding some spare wire around the frame to reinforce it. I was fixated on that image, and that sound. Cage kind of bending and twanging it as she worked on it, rapping and nodding, scraping copper against paint like bowing a rubber violin with a railroad tie. My parents came back from a triple shift and found me still sitting there on the edge of the bed, pen in my hand, delirious with thirst, patching that bird cage with 1,000-year stare. You get some rest back there? I don't feel much rested myself. We'll get a break. Maybe tomorrow, huh? So, what's the plan here? We should try to get in touch with that clerk. Yeah, okay. These files we got from the storage facility are all tagged and stamped. There's a phone number. Oh, it's long distance. Weird. Well, we can head back to my workshop and use the phone there. The landlord has a pretty good phone plan. He's always calling home to Ukraine. Sounds good to me. How do we get back there, though? The entrance at the farmhouse was gone. Let's take another look at the farmhouse, or let's ask at the gas station if he knows another route. Sure, okay. Worth a shot. Alright. Let's try for the gas station. There's a big bird following us around. Truck's engine sputters and dies. Conway guides it carefully off the road next to a fallen tree. Uh-oh. A tree. Nothing to be done. Can you take a look at it? I guess I could poke around in there, but I don't know a damn thing about engines. Wait, is this why you always leave your truck running? Just superstitious. Right. Any other quirks I should know about? Seatbelts. Guess there's always two sides. Anyway, do you know about this area? Anyone around here that could give us a hand? Looks like a road crew's been out here. Hey, we should call someone. Do you know a good towing company? Found his card for a Mercadet recovery on Dash. Mercadet. Alright, I'll give them a call. Hope I can get a signal out here. Hi, hello. We've got an old, I want to say diesel, old truck just stalled out. Notable confused. This is Mercadet Rec Company recovery, right? Friend gave me your card. Open 23 hours a day? Yeah, that's why I'm calling. Exactly, that's all. No, it's okay. We just need to get to an auto shop and get this taken care of. Thanks for the offer, but we really just need a tow, it's all. Is that like some sort of naval thing? I don't know. We're off 65 somewhere, just kind of pulled up by this tree that fell over. That's actually a pretty accurate description of it, yeah. Hanging over power lines, just like that. You see it go down? Okay, whatever you need to do. How long do you think you'll be? Hello? You bored? Not yet. Are you? Yeah, most of the time. Let's play a game. What would you like to play? We can tell the future with this little tree branch. It's pretty easy. Just break off all the little sticks on each section and count through the different things that could happen. Okay, what should we ask? It should be about you. I can't do both counting out and questions. How will I travel in the future? This first snaps the smaller branches away, one at a time, connecting out possibilities. Motorbike, motorboat, horseback, hearse, old truck, new truck, new truck. These other branches are too bare. Don't worry about it too much. It's just a bunch of sticks. I wish Julian wasn't so busy right now. He's got a lot of houses to carry still. Wish I could help more. I think they're on their way. Guess we have some time to kill. Pretty grim place to be stuck. Wonder what happened to the tree, I mean. Maybe it was just old. You know what used to happen to old trees out in the forest? Wildfire would come through and clear them all out, made room for new trees. Then people built houses, and we can't have fires going all the time, so we keep putting them out. Now we have all these old trees choking out saplings, starving the young trees for resources, just clinging on to life until snap. And there's some road crew comes by and blasts a stump with dynamite. I think I'll take a look at that radio of yours. Maybe I can get it going again. No point just standing around. How's it looking? The leads are badly corroded, but I'm making progress. That's what I like about working on electronics. It gets easier as you go on. Or you just get used to it. Almost there. Johnny, is this the right way? I don't recognize these trees. Just recognize just a bunch of trees. Just the trees are so quiet, right? Usually you'd hear birds, wind, a squirrel, or something. Turn your ears down and focus on the radio, Cricket. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm just a little bored. I'll work some chord progressions in my head for a while or something. Haha. How far out are we? Are we there yet? Oh, stop. Harry's not gonna be happy. You know he doesn't like me anyway. I'll tell him about the frog. He won't understand. More than all silver and gold of this earth. What's that? I don't know. I think I heard it on the radio. What's on your mind, Cricket? No, I don't know. Just looking at the stars. Oh, Junebug, this is the musician from the play. From the intermission last time. Oh, I don't know. Just looking at the stars. Hope we get there soon. Never been this late. Keep on dreaming and I'll keep on driving. Okay. Thank you, man. They look like they could use some help. So they can call a tow truck. Around here, just going to wrap up with Mercadet. They'll be waiting there all night. Guess it's up to some good Samaritan. Okay, we'll help them. You're the best. And hey, maybe if they're not busy, they can fill some seats at the gig. You know, if no one's there, Harry will try and bilk us for not free. Maniacs. You okay? Sure, you? Oh no, I'm fine. Thanks. They were in a hurry. Some folks are always in a hurry. Not you though, huh? You get caught up on a stranger's yarn or a streetlight reflected in a puddle? Nobody can get you moving again until you've let the brace of the moment right into your bones. Like a poet. Or a donkey. Guess that's what I like about you, old man. You know how to wait. I don't think I ever will. Stay here. Careful. He's wicked with strangers. Hi, you. Who's chasing you? Hear that, Cricket? We're being pursued. I knew it. Who's after us? It's a good question. Those folks seem to have a certain handle on the situation. So, dinosaurs. Sure, something like that. Listen, we've got two questions for you folks. What kind of people do you take us for? I mean, how do we strike you? You seem nice enough. What do you think, Cricket? Our generosity is unmistakable, ma'am. It radiates. It does radiate. Now, here's another question for you. Do you like music? Do you like music? I don't like music, but I do like sounds. Of course you do. Say, they should come to our gig. What an idea. We're just trying to get back onto zero. There's zero? Is that a fact? The zero? Hush, Cricket. You folks are in luck. I happen to know just where you're going, and I'm happy to lead you there. We've been down there many times, riding this baby. A vicious cycle. That's what we call our bike. We call it the vicious cycle. Pretty tough, huh? Only it's just... See, we have a regular booking tonight, and well, we're running late. Very late. That's what I told them. Now, the old man who runs this menu, Harry Esperanza, is a notorious withholder. If we don't get a few bodies in the crowd, well, we'll go all penny pinching on us. Just a short set. We only have one song prepared. You'll come to the gig, won't you? Of course we will. Of course they will. Can you believe? We almost didn't stop. Hungry old lady? I think I've got a crust and a sidecar here. But Johnny here saw you folks were in trouble. Well, it's all said and done. We stopped. That's all that matters. Our gig's at an old tavern called the Lower Debts. It's over there by old Charlie Moran Highway, just east of 65. We usually take a right off the interstate around to Petting Zoo. Hey, yeah, it's Johnny and Junebug. It's going all right. Had a good weekend. It was very fun. Ugh, my face rig is bugging out again. Detect my face rig. Why does it do this? Please, hello. It's just broken. What is going on? It'll fix itself eventually, I hope. Yeah, there we go. Yay. It's going all right. Had a day with a lot of meetings at work. And then I had some noodles and took a bath. It was really nice. I do like the petting zoo. Now, let's see about that truck of yours. I feel certain we can get it running. All right. Just east of 65. Yeah, the meetings are... I mean, my partner says, meetings just means you don't have to be working. Which is nice. Now that if I viewed him like that, it makes him a lot more bearable. Have another meeting tomorrow first thing in the morning, and that one's a lot more involved, so it's a lot less chill. Doesn't feel right. Feels dead here. Well, that's just a feeling, right? Right. Let's hope nothing bad happens in this bar that we saw in the intermission, and know something bad is gonna happen. Kinda late. You sure they're open? Sure, they're open. It's one of those places. Let's head on in. We're not saints, but we've kept our appointment. How many people can boast as much? That's lovely, ma'am. Who said it? A poet. Johnny says, Ma'am, I hate to say it, but the cupboard is bare. Have some vision, Cricket. We got 1, 2, 4 patrons. Harry doesn't count. Well, we've done more with less. What kind of music do you play? It's like Cyrano Cole meets Ike Towner, but with a woman lead, and the keyboards are kind of ambient whisper wave. A little bit more reverb. There's some Dolly Crown in there too, like the early stuff before she joined the Sheet Swingers. Better drum programming though. I don't know who those people are. Well, you'll hear it in a minute. A freaky leg. Spooky leg. I don't like it. Rough brick between two pieces of stale bread sits in the center of the table, surrounded by a ring of undisturbed dust. bulky set of black goggles sits on the edge of the table, next to an ashtray, a newspaper, and a few empty glasses. Huh. What is it? I guess I don't know. Can I tell you a horrible secret? I never wear eye protection in the shop. It's dangerous, I know, but I'm always looking back and forth from my skill scope to whatever I'm working on, and scope has this particular kind of hard bordered glow that well, I've never found a pair of goggles or glasses that doesn't smear out that glow. At best, the lens softens everything so you can't quite find the edges. Ezra flips eagerly through the jukebox's catalog of songs. What do you think? I don't know how to play this game. I like Ezra. All I'm pouring tonight is Hard Times whiskey. Got any coffee going? No coffee. Hard Times whiskey. Say, shut the goddamn door, would you? I can't afford to run the AC all night. Sorry, Harry. Oh, it's you two. Where have you been? Never mind. Listen, I can't keep this place open through the small hours of the night just waiting for musicians. Where is everyone? Everybody had to, clear out. Let's get set up, huh? There's nobody here to listen to it. I can't pay for... We brought some people, Harry. Crowd is forming. Yeah, but also When did you use a break, Harry? Been on my feet all day, but excited to hear what Whisper Wave is. How's it looking out there? How are y'all feeling tonight? Can we get a bit more reverb in the monitors? How's that? Test. 1, 1, 1, 3, 50. Lamentation. Sounds good. How's everybody doing? Anybody had a real bad night? How about you, old man? Yeah, real bad. We'll try not to make it too much worse. This is a song I heard at a tavern many years ago at an open mic night. Me and Johnny were out just riding around, you know? Like, you like to drive around, old man. That's my job. Of course you do. So we were out riding around, and we passed this gaudy old tavern. I mean it was a real dive. Busted up facade. Weeds in the parking lot. Taps all dry. Bats in the bar room. And run by this creaky bag of bones. Looked like the old thing keeping him awake was the fear of death. So glad to be back here at the lower depths. Hey now. So we stopped for an early drink, and there was a lady singing right here on stage. And the song she sang, well, it stuck with us, and now it's a regular part of our repertoire. Never got that lady's name. She seemed like a sweet gal, and she had a voice like Scotch whiskey. We just hope we do her song justice, so here it is. Too Late to Love You. I like the music segments. It's just so pretty. Just like looking at this. They're so good at just making you like making a scene. The scene composition is like just always so striking. Not gonna try to sing this. Face rig is like super buggy today. Don't know why. Oh yeah, I have to click. Oh, this is Thanks, lastly. I'm too dumb to figure this out. Never should have met you. Nice. It really does remind me of theater. Like a lot. The main thing I heard about this game is like that it's like interactive. Like it's a play that you play, basically. And it really does feel that way. You may not have noticed, but I am 100% a theater kid. And it is very reminiscent of just the weird shit we did in theater. One play I was in, we had the band playing the music for the play be an actual like part of the play, so they were part of the stage. It was actually really cool. You had like a little overhang, like balcony basically, where the band was, and there was a big red slide that led down into a sand pit. The stage was an actual sand pit full of sand. And we had this red slide, and at some point somebody who was part of the band for the entire play up to that point went down the slide and then became part of the play. Which, having been in that play, I probably shouldn't gush about how cool that is, and I think that's really cool, just like conceptually. I wasn't the director, so I'm allowed to say it's cool. The red slide was the stand-in for this dude's really cool, expensive car. And the dude with the really expensive car was played by a very nice woman. And at some point, the dude kissed somebody, a girl, who was also played by a girl. And when that happened, I think during one of our performances, we had to play like 10 times or something. During one of the performances, I think there was a school class there, and when they kissed, one of the kids just like gasped. It's like, lesbians! It was the fucking funniest thing. It was so funny. Everything else about that play kind of sucked. It's not a very pleasant play, but we made it cool. I love her dress. I want to dress like that. Also, her hair is good. Roof is coming back. That was really good. I really liked that. Well, I hope you liked it. Kind of sad, isn't it? Kind of. Listen, we appreciate you folks sticking around for the show. There's nothing more wretched than playing sad songs to an empty room. We just got to get our fee from Harry, and then we'll get you headed to the, Zero? Well, Harry, I think that went pretty well. I'd say the crowd was into it. Reverential. Rapt. Guess the usual fee is about right. And we'll let you get back to your business. Well, that's just, damn it. I was trying to tell you to. I can't pay. They cleaned me out. Got nothing left but a goddamn IOU from the distillery. An IOU? Yeah, I traded them for some whiskey, and I guess I had some surplus credit. So I got this note to get some more from them later on. Must have been a hell of a trade. I got to keep this place open somehow, goddammit. What's your language, Larry? Say, we just need to get pointed toward the Zero. Oh god. What's that? You know what you're talking about? Tell you what, you point my friends and I to the Zero, and we'll call it even. You said you knew how to get there. No, I don't believe that's exactly what I said. It's exactly what you said. You folks sure you want to head down there? I've never been myself, but I hear... people hear things. Rumors. You know another way to Dogwood Drive? Dogwood? Got the letter, did you? I've got a stack of them. Well, okay. Sounds like the Zero's your only course now. Harry, you're alright. If only. Got a radio in your car? Yep. Well, here's what you've got to do. Take a left out of the parking lot, and then just fiddle around on your dial until you hear something familiar, but... I mean, familiar but strange. You know the feeling? Like, I used to go hunt with my uncle, out in the mountains, and now I watch these nature programs. They're filmed in the mountains, and there's the deer, and all I know all the plants and every kind of tree, but something just doesn't look right. It's even stranger for being so close to familiar, something like that. You'll know it when you hear it. Fix that strange and familiar station on your dial. Drive for a bit, and then turn around when the station cuts out. I mean, right then. Hope you folks find what you're looking for. Eventually. Always a pleasure, Harry. Is it? I like that we're picking up friends. Like, we don't even know where we're going, but somehow everybody needs to get on to Zero. And we're all like, sure, we'll go with you. Tune the radio. What's the station? I've never heard this before. Sounds like horses? Horses running. A race? Charlie and I used to go races sometimes. Charlie, he was your boss's kid, right? The one who... oh, yeah, must be some memories there. Well, that fits familiar but strange for me. Harry just said we just drive until it cuts out. Hello. Well, we sure are back onto zero. What a weird road. All of the Mountain King. Act 3, Scene 4. They don't keep the roads up too well, do they? Not down here. So empty. Just let it go, I guess. Bridge ends abruptly, rumbling in disrepair. Time to cut him loose, man. You bored? Nah, it's a slow night anyway. Happy just tagging along. Spooky. A loop of decayed rope is coiled on the banister. Some rotted sections have been smoothed over with fine dust. Broken computer monitors are heaped precariously among the rocks. A fire! Pet carrier for a cat or small dog has been left by the path. Calcified rat wadded in the corner may once have been a blanket. Ooh, this is pretty. A hiking backpack leans against a rock. It's empty except for a dusty bag of cat food and a few punch cards. Pile of discarded electronics burns stealthily in the center of the chamber. It's Amy. Oh, it's triangles within triangles down here. Shifting, intersecting, overlaying. Isn't it romantic? Let's see. You're here to steal back the love of a boy you once knew, when you were too young to recognize the movements of the heart. And you're escorting her, pretending to have her interests at heart, while really you're in love with the young woman as well. And so you've argued to help him conspire to win her affections. But it's just a ploy to set him up for embarrassment and diminish him out of the picture. I'm into it. Well, maybe I still have the knack. I used to be really good at this. I had 11 novels published, from The Billionaire's Bidding to Fields of Longing. Real hot, bodice-ripping stuff, you know. I miss those days. My Lexington studio apartment, just me and my thesaurus streaming up the windows. Not sure you should be listening to this, kid. I'm not listening. Of course it couldn't last. You know, suddenly it was all computers everywhere you went. I thought I might be able to do something with that. Inject a little libido into those ugly beige boxes. So I went back to university and I studied human-computer interaction, and then I picked up Donald's research assistantship here as a tester, debugging. In my off hours, I played around with the doomed love story at the core of our little simulation. That seemed to amuse Donald, so I kept at it. I'm afraid I tinkered too much, made it too complex. Now our work is never done. We don't even have to add any new functionality. The bugs just grow on their own. Too complex. I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. A woman in a tattered cardigan looks furtively at the other people around the fire. Hello. Donald puffs on a smoldering pipe while half mumbling, half singing an old country tune. Where the old green river runs through hills and caves not known to us, down to that sunless sea. Oh, who are you? Sorry, did we startle you? I might say you did. I thought you might be one of them. Oh no, you can't be. We've been patching all their spy holes. Keep the lights dim and the motor running softly, and we rat smoke out through. That is what we were talking about? We're a bit lost, actually. Ah, you came from the road. The Zero. No, you should stay off that road. Not safe. Bizarre topology. You'll never get anywhere. It just brings you right back here. What's that you're working on? Looks pretty vintage. Looks like a harmless old computer, doesn't it? Like some beat-up mainframe exhumed from a university basement and left in this cave to rot. Or to flower. No, it's no ordinary computer. I've modified it extensively, and in some pretty experimental ways. Believe you me. And that's to say nothing of the software. But you look like a technically minded sort of person. Tell me, do you know the effects of mold growth on a diffused base transistor circuitry? The mold would burn up. Exactly. It burns, and oh, the sweet smoke that issues from it. But it also leaves a sticky residue to seep through the machine, forming new connections and creating new circuits. Computer is no longer the pure domain of language or mathematics, but entropy. Thwarted and feeble, we hammer on this derelict keyboard. My name is Reason, King of Kings, but we are mere tourists in the ruins. Our keystrokes echo off the tunnels, boundless and bare, the caves stretch far away. We are too late, always too late. What? You say something? I'm just interested in the mold computer. The mold computer. Oh, Xanadu. You've heard about it. Perhaps you've read about it in a journal. It's been years since I published anything. Xanadu has evolved significantly since I explained its data structures in my article, Literary Multitudes, Hypertextual Narrative as Post-Structural Witness. Evolved and then deteriorated. Donald sighs dramatically and takes a puff from his pipe. I'm afraid you're too late, fellow hypertext enthusiast. As the mold accumulated on the circuitry, Xanadu blossomed for a moment into something holy and enchanted. Then all the charm was broken. If you have any idea what it's like to spend your life building something and then it sit powerlessly as your work declines into ruin. I love Jim Buck. Not really. And I hope you never have occasion to be haunted by the ghosts of missed opportunities. Well, I have my own ghosts. I keep them in there, in Xanadu. It's running on that glorious dusty machine. Take a look if you'd like. Too late to do anything but smoke and reminisce anyway. Too far too late to do anything. Do you know that when I first... No, I mean, if this cave were larger, could it... Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got it. How would you characterize this space? The one we're standing in now? Kinda spooky, but I'm not scared. Spooky for a baby. I think we'd all agree that's a fair assessment. How could... Wait, let's unpack that for a moment. What makes it spooky? No. How do you know it's spooky? Or would be spooky for a baby? Shadows. Sure, but they're not just shadows, right? I mean, they could be. They're projections, or maybe they're anatomies. How's that? Can you tell me where we are now, surrounded by creeping anatomies? Close your eyes. Will you close your eyes? Okay, good. Now, you're standing at the top of a rocky peak. Your tongue of flame licks the shadowy anatomies of... Where are we? Oh, here again. How disappointing. Sorry to, disappoint? No, it's my fault. I shouldn't be so attached to the future. It's always getting in the way of my work. Better to be in the moment, carefully observing and documenting, with no attachment. Let me give you an example. I was a grad student studying statistics when I started working with Donald on his project. He said we needed someone with a more analytical mind to do the descriptive writing, someone who would appreciate the cave descriptions as real labor, instead of taking their authorial voice for granted. Donald warned me it would be long hours of typing painstakingly detailed descriptions into the computer, and I've put in the hours, believe me, I've put in the hours. I've described every facet of this cave in such detail that sometimes I don't know if I'm reading or looking, writing or exploring. Often, in the dark and lonely moments, I worry that in my sleep I've transcribed rooms from my dreams into the system. How would we know? They could only be entered with precise, faithful detail. That's all I know how to write, and all I dream about is caves. I only dream of caves. Massive gate constructed out of scavenged materials blocks passage down the far side of the spire. The kingdom is in peril. Well, what else is new? Where's the kingdom? You're in the throne room. There are 3 legendary treasures hidden throughout the castle that will restore these ruins to their former glory. What do they look like? She's messing with you, kid. Berta laughs. Enchanted jewelry, talismans, a magic mirror that prevents the future, a magic shield that protects the bearer from age, a magic chest that's always filled with... I never went to the university. I was an independent scholar. It means I took to public libraries like a beachcomber. I studied fairy tales, and then I came to work for Donald. I paid the bills, rubbed leathering elbows with academics, scraped black mold from cave walls. Finally, now I carry the firewood into senescence. The kingdom is in peril. How do you think we had it started? This old thing? Maybe there's a hand crank around. Oh, it has a run key. Act 3, Scene 5. Xanadu. That's spooky looking. You are staying at... Ha! This thing is in rough shape. Try blowing on it. Calmly blows some dust off the keyboards and presses the return key. Always at Team Road Small Ruling? Okay, that's worse. Try typing help. That's... You are in east-west passage with horses. Oh, you are in a low east-west passage with horses everywhere. And Lula, recover removed computer. Lula. That's the... Everything is down here now. That's it, Lula. Here, Donald, you sell in the core. Got the machine and the School of Music is all 21. Gosh, that's hard to read. How's your back holding? Damn, I can't tell what she's saying. Oh, I have my portable degosser. Old systems like this one can build up a remnant magnetic field that sort of warps everything along whatever pattern it's settled into, you know? The degosser clears that up by suddenly shaking the magnetic field around until it's immune again. It's how I like to think about it anyway. Like shaking a snow globe. Worth a shot. Hall of the Mountain Gink. After what may have been a year, you stumble out of a tunnel. Well, okay. Stalactites adorn the ceiling like... The center of it is an enormous rock spiral. This is where you set up your premature end of file. Press any key to quit. Just a lost pass. What a piece of junk. What a weird computer. Bizarre. And what was that about Lula? Maybe Donald knows how to clear it up a bit. I liked scaffolding all around the fire. So, you've seen it for yourself. What's left of it? At the end? Chalky bones of a beautiful dream. You can see what it once was, can't you? Can't you? There was so much more to it. Ornate labyrinths of memory, exhaustively simulated parallel cave ecosystems, real artificial intelligence built on sophisticated neural network algorithms. The birds in the forest could flock in 3 dimensions. The bats could learn to sing. Then it began to crumble when the strangers came. First we only heard them walking heavily through the caves, dragging things around, hammering and clattering their tools. Sometimes we heard working songs, never close enough to make out the real voices, just their echoes, cascading wordlessly in the tunnels. Then we caught a glimpse of one. they look like? They look like... No, it's too horrible. I shouldn't be telling you about this. They're dangerous. They're strange. I should have never tried to outwit them. They were always too much for me. But it's too late now. If I'd listened to Lula? Lula Chamberlain? Yeah, of course. Oh, you know her? We're looking for her now. No, she's gone now. She left. We built this together, did you know? Lula, Joseph, and I. Lula is gone from here, but... Donald points across the cave with his pipe. Still in there, in Xanadu. I don't know where Lula is now, or how to get there from here, or how to unwind that damn tangled highway, but Xanadu, before its ruin, was faultless as an oracle, shrine to perfect simulation. Until... But maybe? Those weird interlopers destroyed my Xanadu. Perhaps they know how to fix it. It may be dangerous. I've sent many eager seconds to negotiate with them, to repair my masterpiece. Back there, that tunnel. Push back the vines, crawl into the darkness, watch your step. After a while, you'll feel the terrain change beneath your hands and knees, from rock to crystal and then to mud. Then you'll be out. That's where the strangers come from. Now leave me alone. I still have a bit of mold in my pipe and a few dreams left. Alright. Ominous. Scene 7. Where do strangers come from? Well, this can't be right. It looks like an old church. It's muddy. Yeah, that's what he said. Crystals and then mud. Okay. I want to stay outside. Why? I think I saw a lizard. I'll stay here with him. Okay, we'll make it quick. Find any lizards? One, but it went under a rock. That's lizards for you. Is that guy your boyfriend? Nah. What's a boyfriend anyway? It's a word people use because everybody else does. Doesn't mean anything to me. He's my cricket. See? It means something. It's specific. Sounds lonely. Not for us. We've just got to make choices and own them. You think I was born this foxy? I came off the assembly line about a half-foot shorter, and all gray, no eyes. They were going to have us clear out the old mine. Doesn't matter what you look like under all that rock and water. Bunch of gray shadows shoveling and hammering invisibly at the walls, draining the tunnels. Johnny found some gear, an old tape player. We hid away in an underwater cave and listened to it over and over, and we knew we weren't miners. We slipped out into the road, just these two featureless shadows, and ever since that night, we've been detailing, coloring in, specifying. I feel more like myself every day. Feel more like myself when it's just me and Julian. Well, there. Now you're getting specific. There you are. What you find in there? It wasn't... Hey, what's going on? You look flushed, old man. Doesn't matter. Right. Okay. We got what we need. Let's go. Oh. Back in the hall. Why does the face rig keep bugging out? Don't get it. What is wrong with you today? Trace an orbit round the road and close your eyes with holy dread, where we on mold and whiskey fed and drank from rivers down below. We found your strangers. We know how to fix your damn machine, but I'm not sure it was worth it. Oh, soon divisions will return. What have you found? They say you need to scrape the mold off the timing crystal. But the mold? Of course. Too much mold on the timing crystal was sent to simulation drift. Each moment lived out of sync. By all means, yes. Clean the timing crystal. Right. Let's clean the timing crystal. Yeah. Don't you just hate it when there's too much mold on your timing crystal? Shaking my head. Baffling control panels are sheltered from the elements with a worn tarp. Closet-sized wall of knobs and wires looms behind the machine. Humming faintly, an electric typewriter is the only easily recognizable component. You see anything that looks like a timing crystal? Yeah, right here behind the control panel. It's filthy. Right. We're supposed to scrape off this black moldy stuff. Weird. It's following instructions. Here we go. So many scenes today. Scene 9 already. We've never gotten that far up. Alright. Xanadu. At end of road. They're standing at the end of a road before a small brick building. Imagine as a forest. Check out the building. Enter building. Inside building. You are inside a building, a storage shed for the National Park Service. There's a sensible modern electric lantern nearby. Get the lantern. Exit the building. Enter the forest. That's not something you can enter. Just type a direction. North. In the forest. Yeah. You are in an open forest with a deep valley to one side. Can we climb a tree? Climb tree. I don't think much is to be achieved by that. Sorry. Can we dig a hole? Can't see any such thing. Pretty limited vocabulary. South. You're in forest. Hey, it's a maze. West. You're in forest. Lula is here, soldering replacement components in a small, handmade radio. Oh, we should talk to her. Ask Lula how she's doing. Hi, Donald. I'm getting the strangest interference out here. I've been tuning the radio circuits gradually as we go, swapping capacitor values and tweaking resistor networks. It was working for a while, but everything I can pick up sounds so distant and muffled. Lula hands you the radio. Well, maybe you'll have better luck. You're good at this stuff, just don't forget to give it back. North? You're in forest. Joseph is here, tapping with a small stylus on a modified pocket braille slate. Small gray kitten no more than a few weeks old dozes comfortably on top of his backpack. He has something to say. Donald, I was just transcribing your footsteps. Sounded like... Joseph runs his finger along the index card he's been tapping on, from right to left. Long, weary song, drearily gone, drearily gone. You beat a melancholy shuffle through these woods, Donald. Ha! You've been noting down the sounds of the forest, with an ear for speech, and an inborn filter for poetry, I suppose. So maybe it's me being melancholy after all. I'm eager to see what the poetic subsystem makes of these punched cards. Let's try east. At the edge of the hole. You are at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to rock as the ground sinks into darkness. The computer tied to your upper back slickens with sweat in the afternoon sun. The rope slung around your shoulder has slipped under the strap of your backpack, digging uncomfortably against your collarbone. Shine the lamp into the hole. Your lamp is now on. The lamplight only reaches a few yards down the hole, where the rock is coated in a slimy black mold. You can tell that the walls are too slick to climb safely without assistance. Yell into the hole first to see if there are pirates. Yell. I only understood you as far as wanting to yell. Yell, any pirates down there? No response. Sorry, kid. You're batting 0 today. At least we know there's no pirates. Try using the rope to climb down safely. The rope is tied snugly to a tree trunk. Your feet slip a few times on the slimy rock, but you remain stable. Lula and Joseph descend carefully after you. In bed quilt. You are in bed quilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Joseph and Lula remove the computer equipment they are carrying on their backs and begin settling up. That's the last trip, so everything's down here now. You make an awkward joke. Don't be so morbid. Lula looks pensive. What's the gear they're carrying? Sure, Donald. We may as well take inventory. Got the tape machines, the synthesizer parts we borrowed from the School of Music. It's all tuned up to my voice, so we won't have to type as much. Joseph has a slate and the punched cards he's transcribed from the poems we read him. He's got the typewriter and the paper tape reader. You've got the CRT display. How's your back holding up? Ask her about the cave. Having second thoughts? Don't blame ya. It's unsettling down here. Weird acoustics. Earlier, as we were climbing down, I thought I heard voices for a moment. Or, not voices themselves, but the echoes of voices, singing. Some kind of eerie, tuneless working song. Glad I'm not down here alone. Joseph looks uncomfortable. Jealous. Joseph. Hey, Donald. Can you help me wire up these generators? I'll assemble the synthesizer, but I could use some help with the serial interface if you have time. You hear an unfamiliar echo from a tunnel to the east. Wire up the synthesizers. I appreciate it, Donald. I'm not much of an electrician, you know, but you know that. Joseph hands you a bundle of wires. His kitten curls up on a spool of cabling. Listen, three of us had a good thing for a minute, wouldn't you say? Up at the old place, before I get ugly. I'm seeing... We came down here to work, to really do it. Xanadu. And I mean, we've got to be rational about this. All three of us have got to put our feelings aside for a bit and be rational. Do you know what I'm saying? Is he talking about Lula? Kinda creepy. Joseph wipes his brow with a dusty sleeve. Seems, down here we're all strangers. Permanently strange. You're interrupted by the ominous echo of a grating, scraping sound from east lower than before. What the hell was that? Let's check it out. Spooky. You rush down the tunnel with Joseph and Lula close behind. How do you like all this, kid? It's a lot of reading, but I'm good at that anyway. Tunnel narrows, and soon you find yourself crawling on your hands and knees. Navigating the tunnel gradually becomes more awkward as smooth rock gives way to jagged crystalline surfaces. Scratches and taps echo from the end of the tunnel, some short and piercing, some slower and groaning as if dampened by water. The tunnel opens into a large room. In the crystal room. Spooky. You're in a large irregular chamber. The walls, floor, and ceiling are covered with crystalline projections. Yeah, spooky, scary skeletons. Strangers are here, scraping black mold from the crystals. They look up when you enter. One of them seems about to speak. Finally. Listen to what he says. The stranger reaches for a box he's carrying and presses a plastic button. The box whirs to life, and a crackly voice blurts out something unintelligible, then slows to a deep gurgle. He looks at his companions, momentarily in confused disappointment, then he returns awful gaze to you. Joseph flees through a tunnel up to the north. Lula flees to a tunnel to the northeast. Let's follow Lula. Run north. Lula's headlamp scans across the northern passage as you run. Soft shadows loom perplexingly from the floor to ceiling. You feel around to distinguish shadows from crystals, but eventually find yourself cornered. You've hit a dead end. Who are they? You reassure Lula that the strangers are harmless. Are you sure? Maybe you're right. Sounds like they've gone back to work. Alright, let's try to pass them quickly now. Don't make eye contact, and we'll find our way back to the equipment. You're in bed quilt, along east-west passage with holes everywhere. Lula is here panting for breath. They follow us? Where's Joseph? She seems pretty scared. I know, but never mind. I don't want to think about it. I guess we should wait for Joseph here. This is where he'll go, right? May as well wait. Time passes. Lula nervously runs her handle on a vein in the cave wall. I think we should search. Only understood you as far as wanting to search. Got to be more specific. Search equipment. The various computer and audio equipment casts regular shadows into the tunnels as you scan slowly across the pile. Nothing. Down one of the tunnels. You select a tunnel at random. Your lantern illuminates several sets of footprints on the moldy cave floor, but are impossible to identify. Joseph climbs down the rope still tied above. That damn sound, those damn voices. I don't even know what direction I was running. I wove through that network of tunnels. I ran my hand along the wall, always turning left, but every turn on every rock felt the same. For all I knew, I was running in circles. Finally, I ended up here, and I hid. I panicked. I heard you talking, but I didn't think I could trust my senses. I heard you talking, but I didn't think I could trust my senses. But listen, there's one thing I have to tell you. While I was out there lost in the tunnels and caves, I came across a zero, and I had no idea. It's like a real place. They pick up garbage, they deliver mail, they go to work and to church, but it has an awful kind of emptiness. Wandering through, I heard horrible echoes. Weird images got burned in my mind's eye. Television, a scarecrow, a crystal, a feather, a sandwich, a CRT monitor, a bottle, an anchor. Lula looks down at her feet. What's up with Lula? Ask Lula, what's up? Nothing. Just... Joseph, you sound disturbed. Lula, you've heard the same damn stories I have. It doesn't matter now, damn it. I'm leaving. To hell with all of it. Get him back on track. We're so close. Shout something at Joseph about the project you're working on together. You'll die in these damn old caves, and what about those men? You know they'll come back. Find somewhere to start a fire. Shout something at Joseph about getting deeper into the caves. You hear their voices. They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop. Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damned cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too. And I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm heading down to zero. I think we need her to stay. You plead with Lula about your continued collaboration. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail. And then you can see what your damn machine does with it. Lula and Joseph have left. Aww. In tunnels. Abandoned by your collaborators, your confidants, your companions, the only two among your colleagues with whom you've ever trusted the gift of your friendship. Pretty thick. Sounds like a beardo has his heart broken. You wandered in tunnels alone, dragging along the components of your unrealized masterpiece, combing the underground passages for a new site in which to realize your vision. Sounds like ingenious. How do you mean? Vain. Vanity, ain't it the truth? My aunt Remedios, before she got into the whole ethnomusicography thing, she was a painter, mostly nudes in oil. She had this model. I'll never forget him. Big, classically physical guy. Looked like he was about to storm Troy. Made everyone call him the Colonel. Weaver and I saw this guy naked a lot. Couldn't help it. He was always posing somewhere in the house, chasing a light from room to room while Aunt Remedios made a sketch of his profile or worked on the right mix of pigments for his abdomen. Colonel had this magnificent hair. Long black hair that just ran down to the bottom of his shoulder blades. One evening, he was standing next to an open window in the back of the house. Sun was setting. Early spring, I think. It was kind of windy. Aunt Remedios was trying to get his hair right. Kept arranging it, like half in front, half behind, running over his shoulder and laying across his chest in this very specific way. But it itched him or something, and he'd do this weird indignant shuffle thing, or the wind from the open window would push it around, or he'd start and turn his neck from Weaver, or I ran by and everything would be tangled again. The final product was a swirl of black lines, billowing around the top of his neck. Weird thing is I don't even remember his face now, just a black swirl. Probably the best one she ever painted. Hall of the Mountain King. We're now playing this game inside of this game. Basically. I love it. For what may have been years, you stumble out of the tunnel into a cavernous open space. Stalactites adorn the ceiling like grotesques. In the center of the room is an enormous rocky spire. This is where you will set up your equipment and establish your legacy. Now's the time to continue your work. Research assistance, 0. Realism index, 37%. Romance index, 2%. Mold coverage, 0%. You may hire a new research assistant, assign assistant to a task, or sleep until tomorrow. Hire a new research assistant. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. You have hired Mary Ann, who studies fine art. Assign. You may assign research assistants to debugging, transcription, or speculation. Assigning available research assistant to speculation. Uploading job advertisement. No new applicants. Try again later. Time passes. Mary Ann posits that nature, not reason, is the master of industry. Now is the time to continue your work. What is going on? Hire. Uploading job advertisement. You hired Andrew, who studies statistics. Let's give Andrew to debugging. You have 2 research assistants available today. Ask how many to assign to debugging. 1. Oh. Can we hire anybody else? Alright, let's sleep. Time passes. Mary Ann widens tunnels slightly to reduce the need for extra crouch commands. Andrew makes a convincing argument for the edibility of stone. Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. Yeah, this is very weird. Oh, we've hired Weaver! So this is where we've run off to. So transcription, let's do 1 of each. Sleep. Mary Ann identifies a bug with the oxygen level simulation, but is unable to fix it. Weaver extensively notes tunnel diameter as a function of length. Andrew discards centuries of exhaustive data on the uniformity of cause and effect. Intruders. The strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. You hide behind a rock until they leave. With trepidation, you emerge from your hiding place hours later. Not convinced this is getting us any closer to the 0. Oh, they took away the mold. They took all the mold from our crystal. We've hired Roberta, who studies fairy tales. Let's just try and let's do everybody to debugging just to see what happens. Time passes. Weaver makes adjustments to the echolocation algorithm. Bats now fly normally instead of getting hung up on each other's wings and clustering together like horrible, fluttery tumbleweeds. Roberta fixes some weird math with some weirder math. Andrew fixes bugs. Marianne fixes bugs. Weaver follows the strangers into the tunnels. She doesn't return, but neither do they. Oh no. Weaver is gone. Greg studies architecture. Right, let's do 2 people to debugging. Two to speculation. How about that? Time passes. Greg fixes bugs. Andrew fixes bugs. Marianne muses about the love lives of fungal colonies. Roberta had ideas. Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. Maybe we should try and start over or something. This doesn't seem to be helping. We're almost at 100% realism index, though. Amy, who studied human-computer interaction. Alright. Let's do... three people to transcription. Oh. Right. Let's do 1 to debugging and then 1 to speculation. And let's sleep. Time passes. Greg fixed bugs. Roberta summarizes the migration pattern of bats through the tunnels. Andrew carefully transcribes the sounds of dripping water in all their variations over a period of several hours. Marianne types up some lurid imagery from a gym journal. A mail carrier on bicycle brings you a sizable bill from the power company. Ooh, almost at 100%. We're so close. Rick. Alright. Now we have 6 people. So let's do 2 each. Alright. Intruders! Strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. We're at 100% realism index. What does that mean? What do we do now? It didn't do anything. I was like, surely when we get to 100%, we'll get there. But... is there anybody new we can hire? University message boards have been discontinued. Let's try one more. All of these are done though. All of these have no new text. You prepare a nutritional meal of a boiled cave moss seasoned with a salty, translucent paste you've harvested from stalactites. Oh no, the realism index went down, but the romance index went up. How did that happen? Okay, let's just sleep again. Let's see what happens. Okay. Mold went up. Everything else stayed the same. Right. Let's see. Let's do some debugging. I'm sure that helps. Let's put 3 people there. And let's put some people to transcription. Why not? And let's sleep. Back at 100. The romance went down though. What is going on? Okay, let's just sleep. Let's see what happens. Realism went down. Romance went up. Mold coverage 40%. That's not good. Let's do debugging. Let's just do everybody for debugging. Whatever. Finally, they leave. Did I take the mold again? Romance index 0. They took the mold and the romance. Is it just because everybody's so sick of this shit? Oh. So the speculation puts up the romance. So let's get that to 100%, see what that does. You dream fitfully. You, Lula, and Joseph stand in a hallway. The walls are blank beige. It's just after winter quarter, but before spring, so there are no students around. Joseph says something clever, and Lula leans on his shoulder. You wish that, instead, she had taken your hand, or that there were any other option. This is so weird. Right. Trying to get both of them to 100 and see if that does anything. Ah, damn it, that didn't do anything. It didn't even get it up. How do we just sleep? Research assistants come and go. You don't encounter strangers again, but sometimes you can hear the uncanny echoes of their voices off into tunnels. Years pass. Mold accumulates. You and the remaining research assistants take to burning disused equipment in the center of the room. Black mold is intensely flammable and makes an excellent catalyst. Leaves behind a sweet narcotic perfume. I have no idea what transcription does. I just noticed that debugging made the realism go up, and the other thing made romance go up. One night, you have visitors, outsiders, different ones. Then later that night, an old friend. You really did go deeper into the caves. Premature and defile. Press any key to quit. Huh. Is Lula here now? Scene 10. Hall of the Mountain King. Lula is here. You really did go deeper into the caves. Well, you were easy enough to find. Met a few of your former assistants. One can't help but hear things. So, this is what became of our project. Oh, I've made some additions. Joseph stole the data tapes for the first half, so I've had some blank spots to fill in. Yeah, I know. I published his version, actually. Sorry to report that it's a bit tedious sentimental. We've been looking for you. So you found the address data? Just pass it over to Donald here. Donald, will you be a dear and crunch these numbers? We're looking to sort out a street-named collision. Dogwood Drive. How long does this take? Should only be an hour or so. Andrew will carry it over to... I'll be at the bureau for the rest of the night. Just mark it private materials for the attention of Senior Clerk Chamberlain. How do we get to the bureau from here? The bridge. Yeah, the bridge, though the gate over there. Now, we too recede into history. Good night, Donald. Meet me at the bureau and we'll get you on your way. Head counterclockwise to the cathode ray, then turn around. Then it's just clockwise until you find the bureau. Between us, I think you should drive. Right. Let's go to the gate. I like the spooky glowy leg. It's just like everybody's like, no, it's fine, and he's like, no, the leg is definitely weird, and I'm like, yeah, the leg is definitely weird. And the doctor's like, no, it's nothing, it's just you. It's just you being weird. Someone has left a portable tape recorder on the path. It doesn't appear damaged, but there's no tape to play or record. A bookshelf was carried only partway up the path here, before the project was abandoned. Still useful. Peak of the spire is crowded anyway. A sensible modern electric lantern has been left here. Batteries have long since died. That's so weird. Thanks, narrating Blue. How have you been doing? Keeping Johnny here company? What happened up there? Just a bunch of computers. Ah. Guess we're heading out. You have places to go. So it was clockwise. No, it was counterclockwise. until something. Yeah, to like the bridge there. The bridge like broke the other way. Really weird. Scene 11. So many scenes today. Got the time, Blue? Gotta get this thing fixed. If she catches me asking you, I'll never hear the end of it. Ring ring. Hey there. Here you are. Marianne has the rest of the evening off, so I'm minding the desk. Any word on the address? Results just came in by courier. Good news. Donald and his assistants were able to sort through the noise. I had a cross-reference their results against some of our records, and found a corresponding mail stop on the Echo River route. As it happens, the night ferry is scheduled to make its stop here shortly. The ferryman carries the mail and collects the garbage as well. I'm sure you can catch a ride out that way. You're welcome to wait here. I have to get back to packing. You going somewhere? I might. Feeling impulsive, and I'd like to be ready. Maybe back to Mexico. It's been years. We still have one of my sculptures in a museum down there, you know? Big, ugly iron thing. Time to have it scrapped anyway. Safe travels. Try to stay out of the water. It's colder than it looks. And deep. Can I pet the cat? No. No cat petting. That's mean. Alright. Let's wait. How long do we have to wait? Oh, who knows? Alright, what happened? Up to you. It's okay, you can tell them. Doesn't matter anymore. Fine. So we were in that graveyard. Flashback? Where do strangers come from? Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. It's muddy. Yeah, that's what he said. Crystal isn't in mud. Okay. I want to stay outside. Why? I think I saw a lizard. I'll stay with him. Okay, we'll make it quick. Church floor is cold metal, scruffed in flex by unknown bolt heels. I don't know what I expected. To strangers, he kept saying. Kind of vague already, isn't it? Donald's a stranger. Hell, you and I are practically strangers. Listen, earlier in the mine, I didn't want to talk about it, but... Did you find down there? When I saw Weaver, she was on TV. I was testing a pretty simple tube repair, flipping through channels to check the saturation, and she was just there. It was kind of horrible. I mean, told you she disappeared suddenly, ran away, but we thought she was dead. Yeah. Guess I don't like to say it. Dead. And then, next time I flipped to channel 2, Weaver. It's burned in my vision now. She's standing in a room. Walls are a blank kind of gray. There's a tape on the walls, like markings, and desks, a classroom maybe? Camera's in the corner, so it's this sort of 45-degree angle into the room. There's Weaver, right in the center of the picture. I stopped turning the dial. Hell, I think I stopped breathing. Eventually she spoke, but there was no real sound, just this awful hum. I read the closed captions. She said to go to the mine. I'd find something there. Can't remember her exact words. Whenever I try, I get distracted, fuzzy. Janet cosseted her sleeve. It's so dusty in here, right? Yeah, real dusty. You'd think with all these holes in the ceiling... The hell was that? Did you hear that? Must have been the church settling. Oh? Uh-oh. Oh my god. Is our fucking leg from whatever the fuck these are? Stranger activates the tape player slung on his shoulder. Crackly drawl echoes in the room. It is patient and sounds like it should be smiling. My regrets. I hope I didn't keep you waiting long. We don't see a lot of foot traffic these days. I guess you're here about the job. I'm afraid we only have one opening at the moment. Horrible business. We're actually looking for some information about an old computer? Certainly, I'll tell you everything you need to know. I've only just met you, but I feel certain there's a place for you here. I'll just take you over to meet the dispatcher, show you the trucks, get you familiarized. We can converse as we go. What is this place? Well, it's not an old church. No, I guess not. But still, it all has a kind of reverence to it. And what's that smell? Like bread? Baking bread? Please, follow me. I have to ask you to step in here for a moment. Is this for your safety and to adjust your outfits just a bit? There's some protective headwear up on the wall back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses. I'm not taking off my shoes. Oh, I understand. It's only courtesy to... Well, do us a favor and put on the headgear anyway. Just this way. I love that we have the weird degosser. Wow, check this stuff out. It must be decades old, but it's in perfect condition. You really like old electronics. Yeah, you've got it bad. So I got into this business, to keep old stuff like this running. Seems like such a shame to let it just fall into ruin, you know? Like that computer back in the cave. Xanadu. Decades of engineering, thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy. All petrified as living stone. How could you just let that fall apart? More new arrivals this evening, plenty to go. Got to relay the formula. We actually just need to ask you about a computer. No, the orientation is all done by voice and rote. We don't believe electronics have a role in our company culture. Computers are tools. Plenty of interesting mechanics distant data ahead, though. Shall we move on? I thought the chapter was about to be over. I guess there's a lot more. Here's the fleet. Haha. Oh, we just use these to get around internally. How big is this place? Oh, it's grown a great deal over the years. Incredible to think, really. When Mr. Bishop founded this operation, it was only about 1,800 square feet, and half of that, or more, was occupied by camouflage to keep the law out. Hiding out in the back of an old church purifying spirits by handmade fire. Kettle and a dream. Must be a wild game to play while sleepy. Alright, give me a tap on the solar if you see something that catches your eyes. Always happy to show out facilities. Here it is. Now I have to ask, as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks? I drove deliveries for an antique shop, up until this last run. Aha! Precious cargo, you'll do just fine. And you can drive. Safely, can't you? I haven't any doubts now, it's only... After what happened with Miguel this evening... What happened with Miguel this evening? Well, the dust is still clearing, of course. Perhaps he closed his eyes a moment, or simply hit a curve too devilish. I do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was a good company, and slow to anger, but, if we're speaking confidentially, well, with all that lost product to be repaid, bourbon and glass dashed across the interstate, and a few casks too, we're all just thankful he had no next of kin. So let's see if we can ring up the dispatcher. Whoop! Whoop! That's the accident from the radio in the beginning. Doolittle starts the truck and switches on to CB radio. A deep, monotonous voice drones from the dashboard speaker. 1020 on that load, come back. Up into Hummingbird Cave, 1012, Titty Kitty. Into radio. This is a good time, dispatch. We may have found Miguel's replacement. Thought, though, you might like to get acquainted. 10-12-9, come again. Introduce yourself. Hello? Tell the dispatch something impressive about yourself. They're very well regarded here. You folks know anything about a moldy computer? 99, wheel holder. Gotta pay the water bill. Ah, so... Certainly they'll call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh? Control the wipers with this knob here. They seem to have decent torque to them, eh? Can't say how they fare in an ice storm, but we must never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risk. Always clear sky down here. So I hear, but most of our product is delivered by surface roads, which feel rain quite often, particularly in the spring months. So I hear. Ditched class for the day to drive in the rain. It was pointless to stay. I'll review. He was a lost cause, and she didn't need it anyway. She was smart, bored, had time to cut up. Shitty day for it, though. 83 in biblical flood. We pulled into a dive bar with an afternoon open mic. It smelled like rose water. We smoked cigarettes, drank awful hooch, whistled buckets of rain. She sang about somebody she wanted once to have loved. Brown hair curled around her ear. She had a voice like Scotch whiskey. Poured another drink. And another and another. She was worried it was getting dark out. Then it was getting light out. They ended up in someone else's field and someone else's car and early morning joyride and a sunrise collision. She got onto the bus and he hiked back to his car. He sat in his car and went over some options. Chicago, Toronto, Barrow. It seemed like a bold and impulsive gesture at the time. As he pulled out of the parking lot, he removed his hands from the steering wheel for a moment and felt the car drift into a decision. Years later, he think of this as the moment he himself started drifting. Modest technology, best suited to the job, eh? Plenty good enough. Headlights work fine, see? That's important. Most of our products goes out at night. You never know who you'll run into into the daylight, and dusk can be treacherously misleading with all that indirect light. Magic hours, eh? Magic hour, sure. The angle of the sun at dusk and dawn means the light is mostly indirect reflections from the sky. Everything looks like a movie. It's all a bit softer. Drivers sleep in the day, then? Sure, those that sleep. Miguel pulled extra shifts when he could. Sometimes he'd help me, you know? Sometimes over in bottling. He shouldn't have been driving at dusk. Weird shadows, soft light, dangerous. Oh my god, the three people that we saw getting introed are the three people that were in the bar, the two parents and the drunk lady. They got like kidnapped and are now being made to work here. Headlights look pretty okay. That they do. Moving on. So this is the whiskey place. Normal capitalism things. Oh sure, I know you'll want to look. Peek the tires. It's a thing we do, isn't it? Stow our knees could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road. We're more likely to hurt ourselves. Isn't it the way, eh? Sure, they're big machines, but they can be fragile. Absolutely. Truck deserves care and fearful respect, like a glass elephant. Miguel was a good driver, but he didn't have that quality of deference. What kind of man was Miguel? As I always say of him, he was good company. Many of us have found ourselves in his position, arrogantly grasping at personal sovereignty when our lives have become unmanageable. There's no shame in it, only confidence. Now what else can we show you? Looks like it's just about ready to go out. We have some good, strong folks in shipping here, so you never need to worry about loading if you don't want to. Bit hard on the knees in the back at our age, eh? Of course, you'll have to unload at the destination. That's the job. Some drivers like the extra shift stacking and loading here. I really shouldn't be lifting anything these days. I see. Well, surely we can spare a dolly and carrying strap for your health and safety. Everything was too bright. His head hurt, the usual. Lizette and Ira argued loudly just outside the open barn door. He wanted Ira to take him inside and shower, have some coffee, get to the job. Ira said there wasn't time. Conway was in no condition. It was an important job. He couldn't put it off. Ira said to let the deadbeat sleep it off and then send him packing. He said Charlie could do the job. Conway stepped out of the barn, shielding his eyes. Tried to say something reassuring, but just sort of stumbled around it. Lizette looked away. Ira just spat and went inside to wake Charlie. Ira was a stubborn man, so Charlie went along, and Conway drifted out again. He didn't hear about the accident until months later. So what's next? Truck's radio crackles back to life. Driver, come back. There's dispatch. Now, tell him about your experience. Tell him the truck's in good shape. Tell him you'll start in the morning. I really can't. Yeah, we've got to finish this delivery in a few. Dispatch, got 2 black eyes and a flock of crocodiles. Come back. Back it down and prick your eyelids, driver. Come back, Lem. Come back, wheel holder. 10-4. Got your ears on? Good. Listen to this. So, I think that went well. Let's head back up to logistics and seal the deal, eh? Got one more thing to show you. This is so weird. This is almost weirder than the fucking adventure game within an adventure game on the computer. This skeleton is not very good at parking. Let's head back upstairs, eh? I have one more thing to show you. Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about the stupid moldy computer. Oh, the old man in the cave with the moldy computer. The black mold, it's drawn to whiskey. Feeds on ethanol fumes, you see. As we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air. The angels share. Goes for the vents here and out into the caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and cold to it. Squeeze and condense it, the angel's share back into drinkable whiskey. Every drop counts when you're making a living on the stuff. So we'd go down and scrape it off his equipment, just like any other place it grows. He kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid, truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collecting mold. Since we stopped going down there, I'm sure the mold's gotten pretty thick. Try cleaning off the timing crystal. That'll get you going, I'm sure of it. So, join me upstairs? If you don't mind. I have a bad feeling about his leg. Here it is. A beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know? What is it? Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for our daily ritual, to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift. I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. Yes, I'll believe you'll do well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations, you're hired. Wait, we can't. It's customary here to start each day with a shift drink. Let's make it special. Mark the occasion. This is top shelf stuff now. Single barrel. Oh, that clicked for me. I couldn't move my mouse away from it, and it clicked for me. Decent enough, welcome aboard. He's not working for you. We have to get back to this. He has a delivery to make. What's this? Not working? Are you turning down his opportunity? She's right. I have to make this, I'm disappointed. And I'm afraid that leaves us with a delicate problem. As I indicated, this is top-of-the-shelf stuff you're drinking now. It isn't cheap. If it's not your first shift drink, well, and there's the matter of this tour just now. My time and experience are billed at quite a premium. This is not good for you, my friend. You're in quite deep by back-of-the-envelope estimations. Well, we have that in common, I suppose. All of us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. It's just a way of it. What's happening right now? You can start tomorrow. Take the time to settle your affairs, of course. The interest begins to compound immediately, and, well, we'll go over the formula when you get here. I should get back to work. See you tomorrow, then. Uh-oh. I mean, we're pretty fucked anyway. But that seems extra fucked. Whoops. So I guess I'll start in the morning. I guess. I'm confused. It's just the way these things go, kid. Huh. Well, that still gives us a few hours to roam, right? Where's that ferry? There's a ferry. Oh, hello there. That was a big mammoth. All right. I think that's the end, is it? End of Act 3. That should leave us with enough time to do the intermission as well. Here and there along the echo. Neat chapter. Very different to the last one. I like that. Very strange. Right. Let's call that number. Oh. Yeah, I've liked every act. Basically, I found more interesting, and I mean, all of them are really good, but they all get like more elaborate as well.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
Oh, thank you. There's no Z on this.
For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0. The Bureau of Secret Tourism is supported by a generous population of river creatures whom I fix up and grill as necessary. I am environmentally minded, and I believe all creatures are equally deserving of support in their transition to the next world. So I usually try to sing a little elegy like, small water creature, crab or frog, now you know that sleep is all around us, like a muggy, tranquil fog. Something like that. It's easier to come up with these songs when I'm hungry in a sort of transcendental fasting state, but I've actually just had breakfast. A debt of gratitude is also owed to the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, who unselfishly and unknowingly donates this here telephone line for the purpose of this here informational resource. You can always find the latest secret tourism literature in any of our unmarked kiosks or any other old place it happens to lay. That's all I have to say about that. Hey, do me a favor. When you get a chance, call us back at extension 1928. You can press 0 now to go back to the main menu.
1928.
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear these options again, press 0. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3.
Sure, let's try
For a
that.
catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark, press 2. If you are hearing organ music, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. To hear these options again, welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, well, if you're dialed into this here informational resource, then you're a certain kind of beachcombing, bat-calling sightseer.
This is
So
so
let's
weird.
take a driftwood
I
inventory.
love it.
For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3.
I like
For
forgotten
secret
places.
tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, press 1. For the silo of late reflections, press 2. For the monument to something that we don't remember what it is, press 3. I suppose it must have been an important event if we felt we needed to commemorate it. The monument looks like it was a lot of work to put together. I wonder if it was a happy occasion, something we were celebrating and didn't want to let go of, or if instead it was something so horrible that we never wanted to forget it, for fear that we'd accidentally do it again. There isn't a plaque or anything. I guess we didn't think we'd need one. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1.
Let's just take a minute.
The number you have dialed is not real.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
I love the way he talks.
For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. Now is the time to dial an extension. I just want to listen to the wind blow. Or even better, television static. Can you tune your TV to a dead station and let the static play into the phone? When you're finished, press the 0 button. Thanks.
Can we do that?
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar...
Let's go. Alright. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Facebook dropped out again. Recognize my face? Please. There we go. And I'm back. Thanks for watching, lastly. I hope you're enjoying this. And thanks to you too. Okay, Lucida. Hope you're both having fun. And I'll be back probably Wednesday. I'll see. I'll see when I find the time. Pretty sure Wednesday should be fine. And we'll do Act 4, plus the intermission, hopefully. And then Friday, probably Act 5, but may jumble around a little bit. We'll see. Alright, see you around. Bye-bye.